I wanted to start this video off with a little bit of advice. So, with that in mind, if you are going to make a flavored coffee, and you would like to add more flavor to it, for instance with a creamer, don't, for the love of God, use the same flavor for both. Because it's the most redundant thing ever, and why bother? Nobody makes a pumpkin pie inside of another whole pumpkin. It's called turducken, not duck duck duck. And now that I've roped you in with some light humor, it's time to get into some more serious topics. Like, why is it that genies are always the most vindictive jerks ever to emerge from a tiny oil lamp? I'm unfamiliar with the lore, but is there some clause in the contract that says that once you become a genie you're unable to wish yourself into a good mood, and instead you have to go around ruining everybody else's happiness by granting their wishes in the most spiteful way you can think of just then? Why are you taking all your frustration out on me? I'm not the one who stuffed you into a gravy boat. Stop trying to teach me a lesson about hubris and give me my diamond zoo. Not to mention, you're not really in a position to judge me after injecting yourself into my life in the most frightening way imaginable and interrupting a perfectly good lamp stroking session. When I'm tugging on a long thick tube, the last thing I want is for a genie to come out of there. So with that in mind, leave a comment telling me what your 3 wishes would be if you found a genie. I'm sure many of you will be able to come up with things that are very scary. I want to design a line of perfumes that are geared towards individuals who wish to avoid being accosted at bars. Just like the most off-putting aromas ever. Weak old basement man. Full cat litter box. Chud breath. Except the problem with that is that I'm concerned about the individuals that it would end up attracting. No, I'm sorry, I couldn't. I smelled you from across the bar and Is that overturned garbage can you're wearing? What? Oh, yes it is. Is that literally an overturned garbage can you're wearing? Yeah, well, I do spend a lot of time around garbage, so you can understand how that fragrance would just get me rock hard. And now you can see where my plan has backfired. Is that a 1993 filthy, stinky homeless person? Actually, I was born in 91, but you were close. Oh no, I was talking about the perfume. What perfume? And then I make a second, more intense line for straight up scaring people away. Oh god, oh, is there a mountain made of cougars in here? You know, from across the bar you seemed really attractive, but now that I'm over here, all I can smell is a turbid pond of poisonous snake venom. This week is March break for schools in Canada, and as such, I imagine that there is a vacuum of time into which homework and school attendance would usually be situated. For those who are still complaining about how brief the hiatus is, I think it's important to maintain perspective. Enjoy the freedom from responsibility for as long as it's available, because once you get to my old ass age, you'll learn that there is no spring break from life. In a lot of ways I think school is just a G-rated version of real life, because when you're an adult you have to take classes daily, but they're a lot different. Every morning we have to hand in a book report called Why I Finally Decided to Put On Pants Yesterday. There is a lot of freedom of choice in regard to what classes we take. For instance, for our cooking credit, we get to decide between spend all evening making something halfway edible, or, oh good, a lukewarm pocket of congealed fat and rat garbage for dinner. Most days we have to deliver essays to the sun by second period, detailing the reasons why getting out of bed is preferable to just laying here and dying slowly. We also have honor students and valedictorians who are usually appointed based on their excellence in being able to go a full week without sobbing into a plate of spaghetti. Parent-teacher conferences go a little bit differently. Basically, your mom and dad come to visit, maybe they bring some real food to the potluck, and make passive-aggressive comments about how big the mess is. Now, I don't want to mislead you, there are some benefits to being enrolled in life. For instance, lunch is just whenever and wherever food suddenly becomes in your hand. Dollar store sandwich? That's lunchtime. Expired bag of pretzels from a gas station? Guess what? Lunchtime. Mystery mint on the seat of a public bathroom toilet? You better believe it. Maybe if you're lucky it'll be a hallucinogen and you'll be able to call it a day because tiny blue circus performers are trying to dig into your forearm to breathe fire directly into your bone marrow. Recess is essentially controlled by your bladder. And if you're worried that your grades might not meet the requirement to enroll in Life University, there is a community college version. It's called Being Amish. It's pretty easy to fail if you don't try. Detention is jail, and if you ever want to quit, just ask for a hall pass. Then put it in your mouth and pull the trigger. The good news is you're graded on a curve. Are 70% of your friends addicted to the kind of meth that makes your eyeballs melt to your nasal cavities, so that every time you blow your nose, you're actually blowing your liquid eyeballs? Congratulations, you just skyrocketed into A- territory for not doing that. Put that on a resume. I know it says that I don't have a lot of experience taking care of the elderly, but at least I'm not blowing my eyeballs. What else? I'll just rest my coffee just barely on screen and read my notes.